We are on to the dye list with Tasha, Seth, and Samantha. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, we are.
All right, whenever you're ready to start your presentation, I'll start the timer.
Can it be seen?
Yep.
Yes.
Hold on. Okay, so we're gonna start now.
Okay.
Okay. Textile dyeing contributes to 54% of dye pollution in the world and 20% of the world total water pollution. It increases the biochemical and chemical oxygen demand levels in water, hindering photosynthesis and growth in aquatic plants. It's toxic, carcinogenic, and can induce genetic mutation. These could be mitigated by treating dye wastewater before disposal. However, conventional methods for treating it come with their own challenges. They're time-consuming, resource-intensive, expensive, and rely on environmentally harmful chemicals and materials. Good day, everyone. My name is Seth.
I'm Tasha.
And I'm Sam from Montessori de Manila, Philippines. And
And
together, we are the
The
diehards.
diehards.
And we created an invention that can help solve these problems. This is the Dye-less. The Dye-less is a sustainable and cost-effective dye wastewater treatment system that uses waste paper as the primary adsorbent material in the column assembly for maximum efficiency. As you can see, we made different prototype models these past few months. Our first physical model was the WIS model, and our current one is the adsorption column assembly.
So we consulted different professionals in the field. One of them was a chemical engineer who specializes in sustainable waste management. And we also talked to government workers from the Philippine Textile Research Institute. So for the timeline, as you can see, this month, we made the adsorption column assembly on a larger scale. By November 2023, the dye-less will be fully functional and tested by DNR. By January 2024, based on the lab tests we receive, we will improve the medium and design. And by September 2024, we plan to use this as our thesis project so that we can further enhance and do more research on it. By 2025, there could be a possible collaboration with PTRI. So here's how it works. A water pump ensures a continuous flow of dye wastewater through the tubing and adsorption columns. As the wastewater passes through the adsorption columns, it saturates the adsorption medium and gradually loses color. This is because the dye particles are transferring from the water onto the surface of the medium. Once the dye wastewater exits the column assembly, it comes out clear and colorless.
This water can now be reused in the dyeing process, either as vat water, water to clean the machineries, or water to wash the dyed textile.
30 seconds.
Treating and reusing the wastewater can be done multiple times in order to reduce water consumption.
Our primary adsorbent medium can be utilized as composite materials, remanufactured into paper or other forms of packaging, and processed into eco-friendly fuel briquettes. Now, if you want to help change the world for the better, choose the Dye-less. Cleaner waters and fewer messes.
Thank you.
That's all.
Very good timing. Okay. We're ready to start with the judges' questions.
Well, first of all, congratulations on this. I didn't realize that this was an issue, so thank you for the education. I really liked how much thought has gone into this and the research and the multiple prototypes and your timeline. The fact that you have a timeline and you have a potential partner, great job. My only question is, after it goes through these multiple filtration, you have water at the end, and then you also have, are they the briquettes here?
Yes.
So you have a plan for the use of the water and the briquettes so that they're pretty clean so that they could be reused. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, well, great job. Thank you for this presentation.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much as well.
Okay, good job, guys. Really interesting. I'm a chemical engineer, so I love the terms. I love the the theory that you put behind it. And I think this is a very, very interesting approach. Like Susie said, like many people may not be aware that this could be a problem. My question is the following. In the medium that you're expecting to maybe put some improvements, what characteristics does it need to have? Or can you use like any material for filtration or any quality of that paper in there?
We're focusing on cellulose, yeah, mostly paper, but we're going to try out different mediums as well, such as cardboard. So it could be compatible with other things as well. Tasha, if you want to add something.
So the current characteristics that we're looking for, the waste paper needs to have a certain GSM, because some types of waste paper, like
They break down
too quickly. Like you can't use toilet paper, you can't use like the thin types of newspaper, I think that's what you call it. So we need like thicker and more adsorbent materials for it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for that wonderful wonderful presentation. I must admit, I'm not a chemical engineer, so a lot of the process I didn't really understand, and it wasn't because of your presentation. It was just because it's kind of not the way I understand it. But I have a couple of questions. One is with the paper, so you can only use certain weights of paper, so the paper needs to be sorted before it comes into your process. Is that correct?
Yes. Especially
All right.
since it's waste paper, some of the materials or inks, for example, you can't use paper with acrylic paint on it, because that would hinder the process. Since acrylic paint is plasticky, we need ones that have wood paper on it.
Yep. Actually, that leads into my next question. Is that like, I know with catalogs and printed paper, some printed paper is really highly like water, like it absorbs water, and then you get other like really high gloss prints or paper with high gloss prints on it, and it seems to be a different kind of print that's not really water soluble. So the type of print on the paper, does that make a difference? Like a really high gloss for color print as compared to, say, a newspaper that may just have a colored print in it. Does that make a difference to your process?
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
Because the high gloss paper, it's been treated so that it's like it has a film on it.
So like
So
there's
there's
plastic
plastic
Right.
already on it. So we can't use that in our as an absorption medium.
Okay. Actually, thank you. You've educated me you've educated me a bit more on paper and process. I understand. So before it goes into your process, there needs to be some sort of sorting.
Yes.
Some way of sorting it first. Like, have you thought of how they would sort it? Have you thought of how they would do that? Or do people do that already?
Well, in our country, like junk shops, they do sort the paper. However, mostly what they use are cardboard paper and newspaper. So
because it's the most common type of paper you typically use in like an office situation, like in schools or like in your work. We typically already use these types of paper, so they're already the most common.
The sources could be like offices and schools, since we use a lot of paper. So instead of just throwing in the trash, I think you can just place in like a designated box so that
It can be
we could collect it
donated.
and
Yeah.
donate it.
the paper that we actually
Thank
for-
you, guys. We have to stop there, though. You've gone over just a few seconds, but I appreciate your patience with me. And I've got to say, Warren, for somebody who didn't know any questions to ask because he didn't understand it, you did a fabulous job of finding great questions to ask. So, all right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sam and Seth and Tasha, for the great presentation.